A student of Kung Fu approaches his respected teacher, burdened with a question that has been troubling him. "Master," he respectfully inquires, "why does my ability to perform the techniques not show any improvement? I find myself consistently defeated in combat." The master, a man known for his deep contemplation and enduring patience, responds thoughtfully, "My dear disciple, tell me, have you ever observed the gulls as they glide effortlessly by the radiant setting sun, their wings illuminated as though they are aflame?" "Yes, my revered master, I have indeed witnessed such a sight." "And what about a waterfall, cascading mightily over rugged stones, demonstrating the raw power of nature without altering anything from its rightful place?" "Yes, my master, I have indeed been in the presence of such raw natural power." "And have you ever seen the moon, when it gently meets the surface of the tranquil water, reflecting all of its enormous celestial beauty?" "Yes, my master, I have also been privy to such a marvelous and awe-inspiring phenomenon." "Therein lies the problem," the master said, with a slight sigh. "You keep watching all that crap instead of training." Little Anthony, a 9-year-old boy, was staying with his grandmother for a few days during his school break. He had been playing outside with the neighborhood children for a while when he decided to come into the house and ask his grandma a question that had been bothering him. "Grandma, what do you call it when two people sleep in the same room and one is on top of the other?" he inquired. His grandmother was slightly taken aback by the unexpected question, but she decided it was best to be honest with her curious grandson. "Well, my dear, that's called sexual intercourse," she replied gently. Little Anthony seemed satisfied with the answer and said, "Oh, okay," before going back outside to rejoin his friends in the games. However, a few minutes later, he stormed back into the house, clearly upset and annoyed. "Grandma, you were totally wrong. It's not called sexual intercourse at all. It's called bunk beds," he exclaimed with frustration. "And just so you know, Jimmy's mum is pretty eager to have a conversation with you." One night, little Johnny went to sleep and dreamt his Uncle Bill died. He woke up, and that evening, his dad got a call saying that Uncle Bill died. The next night, little Johnny went to sleep and dreamt his Aunt Joy died. He woke up, and then that evening, his dad got a call saying that Aunt Joy died. Little Johnny told his daddy, "2 days ago, I had a dream Uncle Bill died, and then yesterday, I had a dream Aunt Joy died." His dad said, "That's just a coincidence." The next morning, he tells his dad, "I had a dream that my dad died." His dad was terrified. He had a terrible day at work and took every precaution. He didn't eat any of the food in case of food poisoning, and he drove slowly in case of a car wreck. When he finally got home, little Johnny's mum asked him how his day at work was. "Much worse than your day, I'm sure," his dad replied. "I don't know," said his mum. "The milkman dropped dead on the front porch today." A man, intrigued by the supernatural, decided to pay a visit to a psychic with a respectable reputation in his town. Upon entering the dimly lit room, he observed the tarot reader seated at a table with her tarot cards spread out before her. The atmosphere was eerie, with a single, flickering candle casting shadows on the walls. The tarot reader studied the cards intently, then with a great expression delivered the unfortunate news. "I'm sorry, but I have to be straightforward with you. Your mother-in-law will suffer a violent and terrible death this year." The man was visibly shaken by the revelation. He glanced at the psychic's wrinkled face, then at the solitary flickering candle, and finally at his own trembling hands. Taking a few deep breaths, he tried to regain his composure. He knew he had to find out more. With great effort, he steadied his voice and locked eyes with the tarot reader. Finally, he asked the question that had been weighing on his mind. "Tell me, will I get away with it?" Paul nervously stepped off the elevator on the 40th floor and approached the door of his Tinder date's apartment. His heart raced with anticipation, unsure of what to expect. As she opened the door, he was instantly relieved to find that she was just as beautiful and charming as her profile had suggested. "I'll be ready in a few minutes," she told him with a warm smile. "Why don't you play with Rollo while you're waiting?" She gestured towards the little dog sitting at her feet. "He's really talented and knows some amazing tricks. He can roll over, shake hands, sit up, and even jump through hoops. Just make a hoop with your arms and he'll leap right through." Rollo happily followed Paul out onto the balcony and immediately started performing his tricks. He rolled over, shook Paul's hand, and sat up on command. Impressed, Paul decided to try the final trick and made a hoop with his arms. Excited, Rollo jumped through the hoop, but to Paul's horror, the momentum carried him straight over the balcony railing. Frantically, Paul leaned over the balcony, staring down at the unfortunate fate that had befallen poor Rollo. Just as he was processing the terrible accident, his date emerged from the apartment, ready for their evening out. "Rollo is just the cutest, most cheerful dog you'll ever meet, isn't he?" she asked, looking around for a beloved pet. "By the way, where did he go?" Still gazing down at the tragic scene below, Paul hesitated for a moment before replying. "To be completely honest with you, Rollo seemed a little depressed to me." A mother walks into her son's room to wake him up for church. She tells her son, "Wake up, it's time for church." The son groggily rolls over and says to his mum, "I'm not going to church, and I have 3 reasons why. 1. I don't enjoy the company of the people there. 2. The people that don't seem to like me. And 3. I simply don't feel like going." The mother firmly replies, "You are attending church, and I have 3 reasons why. 1. As a Christian, it's your duty to attend even when you're not in the mood. 2. You're already 42 years old. And 3. You're the priest." Subscribe to the channel. This is important. It will help me continue my work.